Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm glad you're joining us today. We're starting off with a disturbing story from Melbourne, Australia, where a synagogue was targeted in a suspected arson attack over the weekend. The incident occurred on Friday evening at the East Melbourne Hebrew congregation, where a 34-year-old man from New South Wales allegedly poured a flammable liquid on the front door of the building and set it on fire. Fortunately, no one was injured in the attack, but the incident has sent shockwaves through the Jewish community and beyond. The Australian government has condemned the attack, with Minister for Home Affairs Tony Burke calling it an attack on Australia and stating that the job of eliminating anti-Semitism belongs to every single person. The Israeli government has also weighed in, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu demanding that the Australian government take stronger action to prevent similar attacks in the future. The incident has sparked a wider conversation about anti-Semitism and hate crimes, with many calling for greater efforts to combat these issues. It's worth noting that this incident is part of a broader trend of increasing anti-Semitic incidents around the world. According to recent reports, anti-Semitic attacks have been on the rise in many countries, including the United States, Europe, and Australia. As we continue to follow this story, we'll be bringing you updates and insights from experts and community leaders. We'll also be exploring the broader implications of this incident and what it says about the state of hate crimes and anti-Semitism in our society today. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the show so far. We're now moving into our middle segment, where we'll be discussing a very important and developing story. As you may have heard, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine has been escalating in recent days, with both sides exchanging blows and accusations. The United Nations has condemned the latest series of large-scale drone and missile attacks by the Russian Federation, which have resulted in civilian casualties and damage to infrastructure. According to reports, the attack comprised 539 drones and 11 missiles, making it one of the largest air attacks since the invasion began. The Ukrainian Air Force has been working to defend against these attacks, but the situation remains volatile. The UN Secretary-General has strongly condemned the latest escalation, calling for a full, immediate, and unconditional ceasefire. He has also expressed alarm at the growing number of civilian casualties and reminded all parties that attacks against civilians and civilian infrastructure are prohibited under international law. It's worth noting that both sides have suffered losses in this conflict, and there are concerns about the humanitarian impact on the people of Ukraine. The international community is urging restraint and calling for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. In related news, U.S. President Trump has expressed his dissatisfaction with a recent call with Russian President Putin, hinting at possible new sanctions. Meanwhile, the Kremlin has applauded what it sees as a more balanced position from the U.S. on the war in Ukraine. As we continue to follow this story, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the current situation in Ukraine? Do you think there's a way for both sides to come to the negotiating table and find a peaceful resolution? Share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag #BarbaraSBulletin. We'll continue to bring you updates on this story as more information becomes available. In the meantime, let's take a look at some other news from around the world. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Good afternoon and welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on some of the stories that caught my attention from around the world. Firstly, let's look at the situation in Japan, where more residents are evacuating remote islands due to earthquakes. This is a developing story, and our thoughts are with those affected by the natural disasters. It's essential to stay informed about the latest updates and any necessary precautions. In other news, A 107-year-old Japanese man, Shuzo Yamada, shared his vivid memories of being detained in Mongolia after World War II. As Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako visit Mongolia, this story serves as a poignant reminder of the past and its ongoing impact on individuals and nations. We're also following the news from South Korea, where prosecutors have filed a request to detain former President Yoon Suk-yeol on charges related to insurrection. This is an unfolding story, and we will continue to monitor it to provide you with accurate and unbiased information. Additionally, Japan is experiencing a severe heat wave, with 19 prefectures issuing heatstroke alert. It's crucial for everyone to take necessary precautions to stay safe during this time. Lastly, I'd like to mention the expansion of a convenient luggage delivery service in Tokyo, which aims to make travel more accessible and efficient for tourists. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.